Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We did it. We made it through that first episode of The Last of Us, and I have to say I feel that this episode met and fulfilled every expectation I had for the first hour and a half of the show. We got to see how the outbreak starts with the big boogeyman, global warming, and to be honest, this put the scare in me right away. I mean, global warming is real and cordyceps are real, so I liked that we got to see our characters before the brown stuff smacked the fan. I love the day that I love the day in the life of vibe we got from Sarah's backstory. In my opinion, Nico Parker was amazing as Sarah Miller. I mean, by the time she was making breakfast, I had already forgotten that she wasn't a young white blonde girl. She was just Sarah Miller, a child we would soon lose too soon. She had the back and forth banter with Pedro as Joel that I loved from the game. My wife watched with me and she was snickering at the pair. She said, "She doesn't let him get away with much, does she?" That was when she traded Joel's beloved coffee for a glass of OJ. I mean, sure, there were small changes, but it made the show exciting for me. I mean, I've played the games through so many times I've lost count, and this made me feel like I was being introduced to my best friend all over again. We got the birthday, we got the watch, the infected neighbor just slightly different, but the difference was just enough to keep it fresh. When Sarah went into the neighbor's house to check on them as it was going down and we saw the tendrils for the first time, I felt my arms and neck and skin just exploded with goosebumps. The tendrils were just as creepy as the spores, maybe even more so. But you know what? Our story was just as good, if not better, because we could see the look on Sarah's face without the mask. And later we could see Tess's horror as she in the apartment when she saw the wall infected. I mean, I know I was kind of harsh about the snow spores and changing it to the tendrils, but you know what? I was wrong. And they were right. It made it so much better. Now, you know, I made the predictions video, and we did have Robert, so that prediction was wrong, but I think overall I did pretty good at predicting episode 1. I mean, what do you think? We did get the birthday, and Tommy was in it. Maybe I'm just shooting my own horn here. I did get some stuff wrong, but I think I was probably about 50-50. I loved the way they introduced Ellie to Joel and Tess, the way they had them just kind of stumble into the thick of the attack that had just happened, and as they were the Fireflies and Marlene were trying to get Ellie out of QZ. And to me, everything beyond that point, before that was great, but everything beyond that point was masterful. Little truth about me, I suffer from PTSD from some rough times in my childhood. And when Joel started to get triggered by the guard holding the gun, threatening Ellie, I knew right away that Joel was having a moment. That scene was done so well. Joel stepped right in and did what needed to be done. He did for Ellie what he wasn't able to do for Sarah. And for me, I felt tears in the corners of my eyes for the second time in the show. After Joel was finished beating the guard into a blood puddle, and then he followed Tess and Ellie through the broken fence, I thought, this show has made me cry twice, sit on the edge of my seat the entire time, creeped me out, and laugh I don't know how many times. It was an amazing, in 85-ish minutes, the show brought all those emotions. That is good writing, acting, and storytelling. The music in the intro was welcoming to me, an old fan of the show, and my wife taking her first steps into this story I love so much. My only problem is, next week is going to seem so long as I have to wait to see what happens next. One more thing before we go, I want to give a special shout out to Feedy. Feedy is a member of our growing community here, and my first Patreon. I have a Patreon with reactions to different TV shows, and this will be one that is I'm react to on Patreon. But I wanted to give a quick shout out to Feedy. Thank you so much for just trusting me I guess, having faith in me that I'm going to bring good content your way. And guys, I'll leave a link to Feedy's YouTube so you can give Feedy some love if you don't mind. It'd really mean a lot to me. And yeah, and you can, if you haven't subbed here, you can do that. That'd be great to help out the channel. And I guess I'll see you in the next video.